What's up guys, it's Tyler from House of Cards TCG bringing you another combo tutorial, and this time we're going to go over Bystial Synchro. So Bystial Synchro is one of my favorite decks. Let's see. Puppers. Bystial Synchro is a deck that I've been working on for quite some time, trying to figure this out post Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge with Assault Synchron, and so I feel like this deck list is really good. If you want to check out a live duel, Shane and I went head to head. I played this list along with him. He played Vanquish Soul Kashtira, and so we went back and forth. It was a really good match if you want to check that out. So with all that being said, let's dive into the combo tutorial with the deck profile coming tomorrow. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe, help us get to 4,000 subscribers. Deck profile tomorrow, but with all that, let's dive into the combo tutorial for Bystial Synchro post Battles of Legend Monstrous Revenge.
House of Cards TCG.
Alright, diving into the first combo, this is obviously access to Lubellion, or basically the Bystials, along with the Assault Synchron. These are just randomly drawn hands, and so I just want to go over those with you, and we're just going to kind of do it together. So this can grab us actually Stardust Synchron, so I do play Stardust Synchron along with the Assault Synchron. That gives you two targets. Another target that you could possibly play is actually Rocket Synchron, but I just found like the level 1 doesn't really come up. But the first thing that I would do here is I would go ahead and activate Lubellion. That's really important because that's the first thing that you want to do is grab Magma. So we grab the Lubellion. That's going to grab out the Magna. And now we have access to some different things. Next thing we'll do, this is the draw check, right? Because now with the Magna, that's really good. We want to get that in hand. So we're going to go ahead and activate Tuning from here. And hopefully we can mill a light or a dark, which would be really good for us. So we can go ahead and grab ourselves out the Stardust Synchron. And then the mill off of Tuning is going to be a Saferd, which is obviously insane. That's why this deck is so good. Alright, so with the mill of Saferd, that's really good. Because now the next thing that we could do is we can actually go ahead and go Magma. Magma can then go ahead and target the Saferd. That can banish the Saferd, special out Magna. We'll do Magna effect to go ahead and search. And then what we could do is we can special summon out the Assault Synchron. And this is going to put Assault Synchron into the graveyard. Rather than doing Lubellion, what we're going to do is we're going to actually tribute the Despotter with the Lubellion, because that's going to trigger the Assault Synchron to bring back the Despotter. And so we want to do it this way. And now next thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and we're assuming we don't have another Assault Synchron because we haven't normal summoned yet. So you could normal summon and not go through the Excel Stardust here. But we'll go Excel effect. Excel will then go ahead and bring back the Assault Synchron. And then these two will then go ahead and make a Despotter. So now the next thing that you want to do is you can bring back the Saferd obviously with this. But we're going to go ahead and special summon out the Lubellion by tributing the Despotter. That is going to go ahead and trigger your Assault Synchron, and that will go ahead and bring back out your Despotter and give you 2 now banishes in the extra deck or banish zone. Now here you can go Lubellion effect. You can either choose to bring out Regain or Beast. We don't really have a way to get, unless we further extend, which we can definitely further extend and set up the whole play, which I'll show you, because you're perfectly fine ending it here. But I'm going to go even a step further, and we're going to, now that we have the Stardust Synchron, we can actually go a little bit further and extend just a tad more. So we are going to set up our Beast here. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and activate the Bystial Despotter. That's going to go ahead and bring back out the Saferd. And there's a reason why we did that. We can go ahead and tribute the Saferd because we have Lights and Darks in our graveyard. So we'll tribute our Saferd off by tributing itself. And of course, playing into Nib, I do understand. Oh, I do play Chamber Dragon Maid, so we haven't normal summoned yet. So the reason why I play Chamber Dragon Maid is because you can search it off of Saferd. It's a level 4, which is really important in this deck. And then also you can grab baby dragons here. You can do a lot of different things. We're basically, what we're trying to do here is we're essentially just trying to make seals so we can tribute it off with Stardust Synchron. So you could go, and if you don't want to go baby dragons here, you can go Chamber since we haven't normal summoned, and this will allow you to get another interruption, which I'm going to show you. So let's just do that for this combo purposes. We'll go ahead and grab the Chamber Dragon Maid. Now we can go ahead and normal summon out the Chamber Dragon Maid, and then that will go ahead and search us our Tiding, which is going to be another interruption for our opponent. And now we can take those two and make ourselves a seal. You could actually go into Striker, do all that if you wanted to. But here, most important thing, Safer can add back Lubellion, obviously. Now, what we're going to do to set up the Regain Beast combo is we're going to activate the Stardust Synchron, tributing off the seal. That's going to special summon out the Stardust Synchron, which is going to trigger the seal because it was tributed. And now we can go ahead and bring ourselves out a Soronir. Now we can go ahead and take both of those, and we can make a Baronne de Fleur. And again, we could have just done that by bringing back the Assault Synchron also. So there's a lot of different plays that we could have done. We could have done on Despotter with Baronne and Beast, but I wanted to really get the Regain's play set up also, and we also got Tidying out of this too. So now we activate the Soronir, and the Soronir is going to go ahead and send the Regain. And now at the end phase, we're going to go ahead and set the Tidying. So what we have here, let's just do this. We're going to go to the end phase. We go end phase. Magma is going to go ahead and search us out either Druis Worm or Baldrake, because one of those two are obviously going to allow us to then go ahead and put a dragon on the field, which makes our Tidying live. So let's just go ahead and grab ourselves a Druis Worm so we can go ahead and send the Druis Worm off of our Beast. And then we can go ahead and Beast. We'll then go ahead and put back the Regained. Now, I have to go this in depth with you so you can actually see what we have going on. So we have an Omni Negate with Baronne de Fleur. We have Despotter, which can be a pop right now. If we were to banish one of our opponent's monsters, we would have a monster negate. On top of that, we have Druis Worm, which will banish a card, bring back out. Regained will then allow us to draw a card. And then we have Beast that can send the Druis Worm, and then that will be 2 interruptions because Beast will pop, Druis Worm will send. And on top of all that, Regained will allow us to special back Magma. And then when that comes back, we get to search another dragon at end phase. And then also, Tidying can then bounce that Magna back to hand. And if we're playing a deck that up against a deck that plays Darks and Lights, Magna now becomes another interruption because we can still special summon it on our opponent's turn when they bring out a monster. So obviously, this is the insane inboard that it's just a lot. And on top of that, we have Ash. So against our opponent's 6 cards, we're probably winning here. It would take a lot to actually break this board, and it's a lot more than what you think it is because we have insane follow-up with Magna being able to search at the end phase. So this was kind of the full combo. Maybe we can go over a couple other test hands, see what they look like, but this is really ideally what you're looking for in this deck. So this hand is obviously really good. So I replaced the black metals with Chamber because I feel like that Chamber is just really good in this deck. Again, it being a level 4, being a really good normal summon, Tidying being another interruption. And so in this deck, this is kind of the setup that I have. So first thing we'll do, obviously activate Lubellion with this hand. We want to go ahead and get access to Magma. And also, Chaos Space can also pitch Chamber, and then you can banish it and bring it back with the Spotter. So that is another thing that's come up a lot, where I've actually banished the Chamber, but then being able to special it back off of the Spotter is kind of crazy. And then also, if you banish the Tidying, and you special out Chamber from Graveyard, you can actually Despotter shuffle the Tidying back in. It's actually kind of crazy what you can do. So we grabbed out the Magma here. I am going to go ahead and normal Chamber, get the Tidying out because I don't want to mill it. Again, it's not the worst mill either because if you have Chamber in the graveyard, it just special summons it back. The whole deck is like built to just mill and just do better. So now we already have 3 interruptions, 3 hand traps. So we have Imperm, Tidying, and Ash, and then combo here. So let's go ahead and activate the Tuning. Tuning will then go ahead and grab us our Assault Synchron. And then let's see what we mill here. And we do mill an Assault Synchron, which is really good because now we can tribute, obviously. Now we can go ahead and special out our Magma, tributing our Assault Synchron, so we don't have to tribute out the Lubellion. Magma effect's going to search at the end phase. And then what we could do from here is looking at it, our plays, we have 3 interruptions in Tidying, Ash, and Imperm. We could go ahead and make Romulus, but it doesn't really make sense. So the best thing to probably do is we could set up our, take these 2. We can make the, so what we could, sorry, thinking, this is kind of a big thing. So we can go ahead and Lubellion, bring out, and then Lubellion can set up the Regained, and then we could go ahead and Assault Synchron. That can go ahead and come out. We'll make a Despotter. Despotter can special summon back our Assault Synchron. We can make a Malong, that, or we don't even have to. We can go into a Seal, and then we have Seal, Regain. Regain can go ahead and bring back the Despotter. We have a Search Druis Worm at the end phase, plus 3 interruptions, which is really good. So I do think that that's probably the correct play here. So we take these. We're going to go ahead and tribute the Magma. Lubellion effect will then activate. We're going to set up Regained here. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon out the Assault Synchron. Also, it should be noted that Assault Synchron triggers when you activate Beast, because Beast says tribute a dragon. So if you tribute the Dispotter, Assault Synchron will then special summon back the Dispotter. So maybe we should have just set up Beast instead of Regained here. But obviously, you can see different cards that I'm playing here. So we take these. We'll go ahead and make a Dispotter. I don't know if there's any reason to bring out the Assault Synchron, but you could definitely bring back the Assault Synchron just for any kind of follow-up play. Maybe if you try the new Tri-brigade person magician, that could possibly be something. But we're basically going to go ahead and take these two, and we'll go ahead and make a seal. We'll set the tiding, we'll set the imperm. So here at the end phase, we'll go ahead and search out our Druid Worm, or we could grab Baldrake, but we'll grab Druid Worm. So what we could do here is we have Seal, which is going to bounce. Then Seal can go ahead and bring out a card like Baldrake. Then we could special summon out the Druid Worm. Baldrake can then tribute the Druid Worm, which creates an interruption because it banishes a link monster or a special extra deck monster. Plus Druid Worm will then send. We do have a Tiding, and what we could do with Tiding is we could bounce Baldrake back to our hand after we've used the effect, or even if not. And then what that does is you can go ahead and Baldrake banish to get a draw off of your Regained to special summon back. And if your opponent's playing lights or darks, obviously it's an interruption on their turn. As well as Regain can special summon back the Dispotter. If you banish a card on your opponent's side, that's a monster negate, or you have a pop with the Assault Synchron being here in the banished. And then you still have Impermanent Ash and all this. So again, another hand where you just have multiple interruptions, because the Synchro deck just pops off and it's just crazy. And it's actually insane what this deck can do. So that's another combo. We'll do maybe one more test hand and see if we can show you just a little something else that we could do. All right, with this hand, this is just kind of insane hand. Somehow we opened up Chaos Space, both Baby Dragons and Seyfried. So this is pretty interesting here, but I think that we can actually do a little something to play around it. Obviously, ideally, what we want to do is actually grab a Seyfried here, or a Lubellion here. And the only way to do that is we're going to go ahead and Chaos Space, pitch the Black Dragon. That's going to go ahead and grab out our Lubellion. Then we could go ahead and activate the Lubellion effect. That's going to go ahead and grab the Magna. We can probably just go ahead and activate this, banish the Black Dragon. And then we could go ahead and Chaos Space, put it back. We'll Magma search at the end phase. Oh, we don't want to do that. We'll activate. We'll put the Black Dragon back. That's going to be our seal setup. And the only thing that locks you into only having to Synchro is Stardust Synchron if you use its effect to tribute. So with this whole hand being as good as it is, we're going to use the Baby Dragons to actually set up our seal. So we do actually really want to still do that. So now we're going to go ahead and activate Tuning. Tuning's going to go ahead and grab ourselves out the Assault Synchron. Then we could go ahead and mill. We do mill a Stardust Synchron. I'm going to act like we didn't mill Stardust Synchron and we just milled anything else, because that obviously changes things a little bit, and I do want to do this combo for you. So here what we could do is we could set up our Dispotter, and Dispotter is going to be obviously really good here. So we go ahead and activate this. That's going to go ahead and special summon that. And then we could actually go Dispotter, or we could just have a little bit of fun. No, we'll go Dispotter. So we go Excel. Excel is then going to go ahead and bring back out the Assault Synchron. We set up the Dispotter, or you could set up Baron, because you haven't used your Lubellion yet, but obviously you want to tribute to then special summon out. Now here, looking at this banish, I would like to get another Dark into the graveyard, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Seyfried. We could grab the Chamber Dragon Maid, but that doesn't do much because we just normal summon Seyfried. What we'll do is we will link off our Seyfried, go into our Striker Dragon. I don't want to banish our Magma, but we may not have a choice. But we could set it up again if we go into a Romulus, which we probably could do. So we'll banish the Magma, bring out the White Dragon. And then that could obviously bring back the Magma, actually. So that makes more sense there. And we could just go Romulus here. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. That way we get Romulus out of the, or we get Ravine out of the deck. And I will say that this deck is very, obviously we're still all trying to learn it and everything, but it does have a high ceiling. It can be a very complicated deck because everything changes. Tuning mills change it. Chaos Space draws change it, what you do. So now remember, we did mill the Start of Synchron, so if you wanted to, you could actually go into the Start of Synchron, tribute the seal, bring out Sornator, dump Regained, and then you could set that whole play up again. But here what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and activate the Despotter. That's going to bring back the Magma. This will put Magma back into the graveyard too. I got a little ahead of myself earlier. And now we're going to tribute. This is where it's going to get interesting, right? So we're going to go ahead and tribute the Despotter for the Lubellion. That's going to go ahead and trigger the Assault Synchron. That's going to go ahead and bring back out the Despotter. And now we could go with the Lubellion effect, and then set up one of our two here. It might be better just to set up the Beast if you don't want to do the draw or the special back. I like the special back, so we're going to go ahead and set up the Regained here. And again, with these two, you could set up, you could even leave them. This is just basically really what I wanted to show you was the Assault Synchron. We'll banish and bring back out the Despotter. And you could do that on your opponent's turn too with Beast. So if you didn't do that play, then you could take the Magma, tribute it off, bring out the Lubellion, set up Beast. And then on your opponent's turn, you can go ahead and go Branded Beast, tribute the Despotter. Assault Synchron will trigger, banish itself to special back the Despotter. Then on a new chain, if you have Regained, you could go Regain, shuffle back the Assault Synchron, and it will go ahead and draw you a card without even having to have a Bystial in your hand. So there's a lot of interactions that you can do with this deck. This is just a basic combo profile that I wanted to show you. Obviously, I can go more in depth. I'm still learning the deck as well, but this is basically a base knowledge that you could take to kind of build yourself what you think is the best Bystial Synchron deck. I am going to post a profile tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And I hope that you found this video very informative. Again, this last combo was just a little weird. I was basically just showing you that you can banish the Assault Synchron by, if you tribute off of Lubellion, that triggers the Assault Synchron. Make sure you banish or you tribute a Dark Synchro monster, Dragon Synchro monster, because that's how you trigger the Assault Synchron. But I hope you found this informative. I've put quite a bit of time into learning these combos and trying to figure it out. The deck does so much. It's actually kind of crazy. The only problems I found with it is Shifter does hurt. And Shifter is going to be around this format, so you do have to keep that in mind with this deck. But overall, I think this is a great deck. You should definitely give it a try. And if you do, consider subscribing because you found this valuable and you want to see more content. So with all that being said, this has been Tyler with House of Cards TCG, signing out.
House of Cards
TCG.